There is a very recurrent and common confusion in the use of GPS and GNSS as words, as it's an antinomasia, or to put it more simply, it's something like saying the city to talk about London, for example, or saying the Iron Lady to talk about Margaret Thatcher. GPS, which stands for Global Positioning System, is a satellite navigation system developed by the United States. GNSS, on the other hand, stands for Global Navigation Satellite System and is a generic term for any satellite navigation system. GPS is, so to say, an example of GNSS. There are accordingly other satellite navigation systems such as GLONASS developed by Russia, Beidou developed by China, and Galileo developed by the European Union. In short, all these systems are GNSS, but GPS is the best known and most widely used, therefore it being the word people commonly use to talk about GNSS. Now let's go through the different satellite constellations together, starting with the most famous one, the GPS, which again corresponds to Global Positioning System and is the result of an American military program started in 1958, 1 year after the launch of the first satellite. This program aimed at obtaining the position of a terrestrial mobile from radio emissions from a satellite. Today, it is an invention that has been transferred to the civilian sector and allows us to position ourselves in daily life. Now to Galileo, the European constellation. The beginnings of the constellation go back to 1999, but the project was officially launched on May 26 of 2003 with the signing of the agreement between the European Union and the European Space Agency. At the time, the main purpose of this project was to be able to free itself and Europe in general, in the long run, from the American GPS for obvious strategic and geopolitical reasons. It was also specified that the program would be solely civilian, with no military dimension. The Russians have also developed their own constellation called GLONASS, an abbreviation of Globulnaya Navigationaya Sputnikovaya Sistema. Their system was developed by the Soviet Union in the 1970s and was officially launched in 1993. The Russian constellation has today 24 satellites in orbit. Last but not least, the Chinese constellation, launched in 1983, the Beidou Satellite Navigation System, also known as COMPASS. It is China's GNSS, which since 2020 contains 35 satellites. There are obviously other local constellations we need to discuss in detail, such as Japan's or India's, which cover smaller geographical areas of the country's nearby space. Now we're fully able to distinguish the generic term GNSS from the different constellations. Thank you all for listening to us, and don't forget to follow us on our social networks.